Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to another episode of A Dairyman's Diary. My name is Will, and today we are back in the New Holland. It is fixed, finally. The parts came in yesterday, so the fitter came out late last night and got this all fixed up, which is great relief because we can actually start to use it and get some work done. And today we are pulling the big slurry tanker. We're going to continue emptying out the lagoon a little bit here and put it onto some of our recently baled up land. But before we do that, we're going to go and have a look at some new developments. So to do that, we're going to just hang a right, shoot up the hill here. We're going to have a look at there's a bit of a kind of storage area up here that we've agreed to take ownership of half of it from the sawmill up here. And we brought in some contractors yesterday to do a little bit of work for us. And what they're doing is they're stripping out a foundation. It's a pad foundation, so they're stripping it all out there so we can lay some concrete so we can build a storage shed, which is going to be quite exciting. So we're looking to hopefully get that all poured up in the next couple of days, all being well. As we're just swinging here, there's a bit of as you can see, there's a bit of a hole there. Let's just stop ourselves about here, I should think. We're going to have a look, see what's going on. So as I said, you can see they've stripped out the soil, which are going to be pulling away, and then that's a stone they're going to bring and dump into here and level this out for a base before we pour the concrete on top. But this is going to be a storage shed for us. We're actually going to put a fence up. If you imagine standing on this corner about here, running straight down towards where that telegraph pole is, we're going to put a fence up there, and then this is going to be like a little storage yard for us. Somewhere where we can just bring the silage trailers out of the way. We can park like some of the equipment inside this shed to winter it, because all the sheds down at the yard there, we're filling up with bales, so I don't like to keep my equipment outside. There's not a great deal of storage space over at Dad's yard either, so we've elected to go ahead with this. It can be used as a grain store for us as well later on down the years if we need it. But yeah, it's just something that we thought would be a good idea for us. So the contractors are in, as I say, stripping this out, and then hopefully all they'll have left to do once they clear all this topsoil out of the way will be to spread the stone, compact it, and then set the forms up to pour the concrete. Our foundation is going to be about 18 inches deep, reinforced with 2 layers of rebar in there as well, because we're going to be putting a lot of weight over there. So that's the plan there. So it's all come together very nicely. The weather is still glorious today. I'm delighted to have the New Holland back working. Big miss not having this. The Massey is still hooked up to the Heston baler, so it's nice to have the second biggest tractor back really and working properly. Let's not crash into his excavator there. But what we're going to do, we have got a little bit of slurry. Well, we've probably got about 3 or 4 loads of slurry we can put down. So in order to do that, we're just going to go into the fields where we cleared the silage bales off recently. It's just starting to grow there, but it can take a little bit of a kick with some more slurry in there, and that should do it. No hardship at all, really. So yeah, we'll go straight over the road into here. It's beautiful. And we'll just get cracking in here. So ultimately, the issue we had with the New Holland was that there was a sensor inside the fuel tank that wasn't working properly apparently, and that was tripping out the onboard computer, so it wouldn't let me start up. I kept thinking that the tank was completely empty. So it's good to see that we've been able to get a fix on that. And yeah, we're back on working. I got these 2 fields cleared yesterday of silage bales. They're all stacked up around the back of the yard now as well. Got a few more fields to do on the other side of the yard, but we kind of figured out we'll do that just as and when we can, really, to be honest. When there's enough space for us to get in there and when we can when all the other jobs are done. But I wanted to get on top of the slurry and get some slurry out into the field here because it's good organic matter, a really good organic fertilizer, and the fields really do benefit from it. So that's what we're looking at doing for the most part today. Had a bit of a crop walk today. Our crops are probably, I don't know, about another week out, maybe at the very best case scenario, maybe 10 days at the worst. So we'll leave those. They are turning nice and ripe, but they're just nowhere near dry enough yet, so we'll leave that for a little bit longer. But yeah, ultimately everything's kind of pieced together very nicely at the moment, which is great news. Really, really is. I hope you're doing very well wherever you're watching this from as well. It's always nice to have you on board. Hope you're enjoying it. And if you do have any questions or comments, do please leave them down below. I always like to try and get back to those, so it's always great to have those, have your feedback there. At the moment, Greg's still away on holiday. Dad is kind of doing his own thing there, getting a few fields ready on his side. And everything's kind of just piecing together nicely at this stage, I think I would say. We have Howie's here, he's doing a few odd little bits and pieces, getting kind of just keeping us ticking along really. He helped stack all the bales up, so all the hay we baled has been brought in. He's been moving a few bits of equipment around, taking some of it over to Dad's where possible to store it. But in many cases, a lot of it is just kind of being shipped out into the corner of the field for now until we get this shed built. That's the main thing. But yeah, hopefully that's going to be a big change to get that brought in here and get that all fixed and give us somewhere secure and dry to store everything. That's what we always like. Oh, this is probably the only second time we're really using this tanker. First time I'm using it. Howie had it before me. And yeah, it's a lovely little tanker actually, very nice. It's got a very nice spread on here. We could possibly at some stage, if we can afford to, it does come with, or it is possible to fit ejectors to this. Now that might be something that would be worthwhile just to improve our kind of conservation, because if we're applying directly there, we don't need to worry about any surface runoff or anything like that. So that's something we could look into. Kind of restricting the amount of potential pollution hazards and environmental hazards. But I might have to have a look at the dribble bar, see how much that is. It's not really a dribble bar, it's more direct injectors, but yeah, it could be worth having a look at nonetheless, and just to see how it works. Okay, we're just going to disconnect that, turn off the PTO whilst we turn. Excellent stuff. And away we go again. Doesn't really need a substantial amount to power it, but it's just a lot of weight really, so you do need to be quite careful about how much weight you're lugging around here. What we are doing though, we are overlapping, so we're kind of applying twice. As you can see here, we're kind of half of our width now is covering the previous work, so we are going to overlap everything just to give it kind of a double coverage. And that just means that there's more nutrients per kind of square foot really. So that's what we're going to be aiming to do here, and if we can do this for as many fields as possible, then we can greatly reduce our outputs on fertilizer, which is always something you're always looking to kind of benefit from and keep costs down really. Currently cruising along at about a whopping 3.7 miles an hour, making sure that we get a good application and a good spread width. But what is a beautiful day here in GWENDDWR, absolutely fantastic. Sun is shining. We've been really lucky so far with the weather. It's been beautiful and dry as well, giving our crops the best fighting chance, which is something that we always want to see continue. That's for sure. Shouldn't be too long. We're not going to be desiccating our own crops off this year because it's just so dry at the moment. It's killing all the grass weeds and all the greenery in the bottom of the crop. So as long as that continues, we get another good week of sunshine, we should be golden. We shouldn't have to worry about anything. It's going to have to be time sooner rather than later to dust off the combine, bring it out the shed and give it a check over. I'm hoping Dad's going to be looking into that soon, just because he likes to kind of keep everything running over there. For the most part, I do drive the combine, but he will always have a service up a little bit. He's got more of a workshop down there in which to check things over with as well, I suppose. Okay, we're just going to zip back around. Gotta kind of be careful with the PTO shaft when you're on with slurry tankers. You don't want to get too tight and risk snapping the CV joint down there. But we're going to keep rumbling on. We have got about, maybe 15% left in there, maybe a little bit more. But we're going to keep rumbling through this. We'll get this tanker emptied and then we'll take it back to the yard. Yeah, we'll get it filled up there and we'll have a look around the yard just to show you what's kind of changed and what's updated. we've moved a few things around, like I said there, so we'll have a bit of a look, and then yeah, we'll come back to you in just a short while. Alright then, as that's a little bit loud over there, we're going to just kind of move away and let that pump out and fill up there. So yeah, as I said, we moved a few bits of equipment around here, got rid of a few things in this shed so we can get the straw stacked up off the trailer. And then this is our mighty stack of bales thus far. All, what have we got there, 6, 9, 10, not many, but you know, they're in the dry now anyway, so that's good news. And then as we come around the corner here, those bales on the trailer are last year's that we're still using. Getting those in, and then yeah, we've got a few more fields to bale, but yeah, our stack is ever increasing. We're getting there slowly but surely, and yeah, I'm impressed with how it's going there. We've still got a majority of second cut to cut and bale actually, and then maybe we'll get some third cut. We'll have to wait and see. So we'll get a few more bales on there, that's for sure. But yeah, it's coming along. We should have. I'm not too worried about the amount of fodder we've got at the moment. We should be looking good, all being well. But yeah, everything is coming together. It's piecing together very nicely. And yeah, I think what we might do is we're going to need more straw storage space as well. So once this straw is used up, I'm hoping we can fill up more of this with hay. If we can, then we'll just put all the straw back here. The plough will go up to the new field there, the new shed, as would the baler probably, and we'll get that all done. These trailers, I might leave them here, I might kick them out as well. It's not really too big a deal for me on that front. But yeah, ultimately everything is coming together. What we do need to do, however, is look at getting everything fed and watered again. It's that time of day. So we'll be looking into that one just as soon as we can. Let's see how we're looking here. Oh, we're nearly there. The gauge is looking good. Beautiful. So you can see we've still got a few bales out there. Howie's going to be getting onto this in just a little while, and we'll get everything done. It's not a concern. It'll all get wrapped up sooner rather than later, and then we'll get cracking with the rest of the tasks. What we do need to do sooner in the next day or two, we have our grain stores around the far corner here actually, which I forgot to show you. But we have no grain pusher yet. We need to go and we're currently having someone kind of fabricate one for us. And the reason we need a bit of a grain pusher really is if I just open up one of our store sheds here, you can kind of see that they're long and narrow, so it's difficult to get much like tipped right at the back there when you've got a tipper trailer on. So what you typically do is just tip it by the door here somewhere and then just shove it all back up high with the telehandler. But to do that we need a grain pusher, so that's what we're going to try and get hold of. Hopefully we've got a nearby blacksmith who can finish up making one of those for me. That would be fantastic. But yeah, all is good. We're going to jump back into the New Holland there and we'll rumble on away and get this load done. Just jump into that. Beautiful. And it's a little bit heavy again this time though. To pull it's a bit of a brute, but we'll get ourselves shipped up the hill, and then we can really just start to get everything, get that one field done at least, and then maybe push on, get another one done. We'll have to see. But yeah, as you can see there, our spring barley crops are coming along very well actually. We've made a little bit of a mess coming in and out of here. Trying not to run over the slurry that we've already put down, just to kind of keep that to a minimum, but sometimes it just can't be helped. And I'll see where we've got up to here. I think we're about halfway through this field now. Yeah, and then we'll jump into that field there, and we'll just kind of follow the tracks we made with the baler, to be honest, to get out as much covered that way as possible. As you can see, there's a bit of a cover on the ground there. There's a few little bits of a kind of organic matter in there still, which is fine. That'll work down nicely. Just see, it looks like we get up to about here, and then we'll have to start. So we'll just engage that again, and we'll get ourselves squared back up. So yeah, I hope you're all having a great harvest so far. I hope it's all going very well for you, as well as it possibly can. And whatever you are getting up to, do let us know down below. And if you're working in the same region as well, do let us know whereabouts you are and what you're doing. We have agreed a straw contract. We don't have enough straw this year on our own land, so we've agreed a straw contract with a relatively local farmer who has around in the region about, I think it's 50 Heston bales, which we're going to take off him. So that'll be a good start more than anything. And I think he's going to hold them for us. I need to wait and see on that front. Apparently he's waiting to get a new tractor. And if he can get the new tractor sorted out, he's going to haul them over for me, which would be great. It's nice to get that done early because I fear that the straw prices are going to continue to skyrocket at the moment. With the wet spring and the really dry, baking hot summer that we've had thus far, there's not a lot of straw out there that I've been seeing so far. So when going to kind of stand-ins straw sales, where they sell the straw as it's still in the field, still standing pre-harvest, it's been very expensive. So we'll have to wait and see there. But yeah, for now, all we can do is continue working away. I'm hoping my local farmer, who is about to start cutting some of his own winter wheat down, he should be get going in the next week or so. So ideally, we can go and do a little bit of contract work for them, get that all bailed up sooner rather than later. That'd be great. Always nice to get little jobs like that done. And then yeah, before you know it, we'll be back in the fields drilling the winter wheat and the winter barley, and it'll be like it never happened. So it'll all be back into the doom and gloom of winter again. But we can only hope that stays away for a little bit longer at the very least. I don't want to be in winter now. Alright then, so with this one just about done, we'll go down this corner, make sure we have all of the little ins done at the bottom, and then we'll just drop it over the road and we'll tick this one off the list, really. Now, can I loop around in one big circle here? It's going to be tight if I can. No. Okay. Good job, this is pretty much a private road down here. Very seldom do we get traffic on here at all. I don't actually know how far down that road goes. Once you get past my land there, I don't think it goes much further. There used to be some properties down there, but I don't think they're there anymore. Okay, and in we go. Excellent news. Well, what we're going to do here, folks, we're going to keep pushing through and we'll get this all emptied out and continue to get the land covered as quickly as possible. Shouldn't take us too much longer. And then we'll be able to get back to the cattle, get them all fed up for the day. And yeah, call it a day at that. So I will leave you here. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Simulations for the Nation, who very kindly hosts the channel, hosts my stories and my blogs for you all to consume. So until next time though, thank you ever so much for watching. I have been Will, this has been a Dairyman's Diary, and we shall see you next time on GWENDDWR. Until then, catch you later.